Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. Today is March 11th, and this is the voting session of the Ways and Means Committee. For Haley, the vice chair is excused. Delegate Wells is excused. Delegate Miller is excused. And that's it. Okie dokie. First, House Bill 2, and there are amendments. Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 2 as amended authorizes counties and Baltimore City to set a special property tax rate for vacant and abandoned properties, and the amendments make the bill statewide. I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, opposed. Delegate Buckle. Delegate Long. House Bill 2 passes, excuse me, favorably as amended. I'm sorry, who? Is it, what are you? On the floor? Okay. House Bill 2 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 108, and there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the compensation for board members in Baltimore County. Also increases the the stipend for scholarship for the student member, and the amendments delay the effective date until 2026 and change the name of the sponsor to that of the delegation. Move the amendment.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion on the bill is amended.
Move the bill as amended.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 108 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 147, and there are amendments. Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 147 authorizes refunds of the tobacco tax when the product is lost due to theft and a police report and a notarized affidavit are filed with the comptroller. There are amendments. They are technical. Move the amendments.
Okay, any discussion on the technical amendments? Hartman's ready to vote. What are the technical amendments?
So the technical amendments just substitute the word claimant for taxpayer, and that was requested by the comptroller to make clear who exactly is eligible for this, that it's the person who purchased the tax stamps who's eligible for the refund.
Okay, motion, did we vote on them? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Delegate Plakovich cards opposed. House Bill 147 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 151, and there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As amended, this bill requires that the vacancies on the Charles County Board of Education must be filled within 90 days of the vacancy occurring, unless the vacancy occurs in an election year, in which case the board may elect to wait for the election. Additionally, the board must make live video streaming and complete archive video recording of each public meeting at which the applicants are for a vacancy are interviewed, available to the board's website in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. The amendments changed the time period from 60 to 90 days in the election year and require the footage to be stored in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended.
Move favorable.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 151 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 495, and there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Bill Day. Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill as amended requires the meeting of Baltimore County School Board Nominating Commission must be open to the public if it involves the action of a candidate for appointment to the county board. Meetings involving the candidate interviews must be recorded and released for the public within 40 hours. The amendment remove the requirements that the interview and deliberation, as well as the materials related to the interview of the Baltimore County Board of Education or prospective nominee be made public, and introduce a new framework, just supplying their names. Move the amendments.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended.
Move favorable.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, House Bill 495 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 599, and there are amendments, and we are secondary. Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 599 establishes the Maryland Community Investment Corporation and expands to the eligible uses of the Strategic Demolition and Smart Growth Impact Fund. The amendments require the advisory and investment committees to the Maryland Community Investment Corporation to be geographically representative of low-income areas of the state and to prioritize projects owned or operated by entities that have their principal place of business in the state, and strikes provisions authorizing the Strategic Demolition and Smart Growth Impact Fund to be used for debt payments. Move the amendments.
Any discussion? Delegate Buckle.
The second thing that you could Feldmark, that says this, you can't use the strategic demolition and growth fund for debt payment recoupment, essentially. What is left of the original bill's expansion of what you could use the fund for? I co-sponsored the bill. I thought it was a good idea, but that was part of it, is it enabled some of these developers to be able to better leverage their investment.
Right, so I believe it can still be used for credit enhancement, but not for debt payments.
Okay, so for credit enhancement, in order to say in the real world, hey, I'm going to be getting $2 million, or my application is pending, I think I'm going to be awarded $2 million through this fund. So that makes me more credit worthy because
Exactly.
I don't have to come out of my own pocket for those costs. I can pay you back. Basically, it changes the delta on the project.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. There was a number of MACO suggestions on the Senate side. For me, the ones were basically about, manufactured housing versus modular housing. Was there any changes done to that? I didn't see those in amendments. Still as is.
I don't believe so. I
Okay,
think
thank you.
that remains unchanged.
Any further discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill. Opposed to the amendments, Delegate Long. Oh, okay. Is there a motion on the bill as amended? Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Delegate Long is opposed. It's not, we weren't primary. Okay, House Bill 599 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 740, Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 740 allows the county to determine the amount, duration, and other criteria for an existing required local property tax credit for improvements to structures in a historic district. I move the bill.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 740 signify by saying aye. Any opposed? House Bill 740 passes favorably. House Bill 765, and there are amendments. Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill authorizes local governments to provide a property tax credit to hotel or residential development projects that include affordable housing. It repeals a similar local credit in Wycomico County. The amendments clarify that a single residence is not eligible for the credit by requiring that a residential development include at least 20 units. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended. Any discussion? Delegate Long? Okay. Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Delegate Long is opposed. House Bill 765 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 945, and there are amendments. Delegate Eversol. Hit your button.
Yep, there we got it. As amended, this bill repeals the requirement that each teacher preparation program require passing a nationally recognized portfolio-based assessment of teaching ability as a requirement for graduation. Also changes some of the requirements for testing or for certification. The amendments set the following qualifications for teachers in the state. First, they have to pass subject-specific examinations. Second, they have to meet one of the following: pass the nationally recognized portfolio assessment or complete a rigorous local school system teacher induction program and portfolio assessment. And third, meet one of the following: pass a basic literacy skills test, which is really a teaching skills test, have achieved a 3.0 or better, or have received an excellent evaluations over 3 years of a provisional certificate. And then finally, they have to pass a mastery of reading instruction in the state. And finally, meet any other criteria established by MSD. That's one that scares me. The amendments also provide an alternative pathway for out-of-state teachers completing a rigorous local school system teacher induction program. I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion on the bill is amended.
Favorable.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the bill signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 945 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 988. Yes,
I'd like to hold this bill, please.
okie dokie. 988 will be held. House Bill 995. Delegate Eversol.
Yes, this is the Washington here. This is the Washington County Board of Education bill. The bill imposes a residency requirement for members of Washington County Board of Education. Specifically, the bill requires that immediately preceding the date the board member takes office, each member of the Washington County Board of Education must be a resident of Washington County for at least 6 months and a resident of the state for at least 12 months. Under the bill, board members must maintain a primary residence in Washington County during the member's term. A board member who no longer maintains a primary residence in Washington County may not continue as a board member. There are no amendments. I move favorable.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 995 passes favorably. House Bill 1356, Delegate Feldmar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1356 requires villages in Columbia to require candidates for the village board or Columbia Council to file reports of donations and disbursements. Move favorable.
Any discussion? Delegate Griffith.
I just had just a very, very short question on this. I know we saw something similar to this a couple of years ago with the Columbia Association. How is this bill different from that bill?
We've actually had this a couple times in different forms. I believe this year's bill is the same as the most recent. So it's just dealing with Columbia Council and Village Board elections, and it just requires them to have a system for disclosure of any funds received and how those funds were spent.
And does it have any ripple effects on other ways?
It only applies within the villages of Columbia.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 1356 signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 1356 passes favorably. House Bill 1357, Delegate Attar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This Howard County bill authorizes the county to enter into a payment in lieu of taxes agreement with the property owner who agrees to maintain a number of moderate income housing units that exceeds the number required by local law. Move the bill.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, House Bill 1357 passes favorably. We have two withdraws, House Bill 456 and House Bill 1415 have been withdrawn. Yes, Delegate Eversol, your big moment.
Oh, sorry. You get promoted for this? Well, the boss is missing, so there you go. Are you ready?
Yes,
Move unfavorable as the consent calendar, please.
okay.
On all the way, maybe Jason.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. That concludes our voting session. I will just say, Delegate Wims,
The first time I've heard of the bill that was held, the Montgomery County bill was held. So my question is, can any delegate hold a bill if request? That's all I wanted to know.
Request to.
you can request to hold a bill.
Okay, that's all.
I think somebody from your delegation requested. to
No,
have
I
that
wasn't
held.
asking, I was just
Yeah.
asking in
In
general.
general, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is crunch time for the committee. So just to let you know, it's not fully mapped out, but we will likely be voting. Just plan that we're gonna be voting like every day this week. Certainly we're voting, today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly Thursday. Stuff always comes up at the last minute, even if we just have to come vote for one bill. And we will have tomorrow, no back room and subcommittee, no back room, just because the subcommittees have to meet, and so. Yes, yep, go ahead, subcommittees, delegate.
So there's no confusion. Education Subcommittee and I believe Racing and Gaming will be meeting simultaneously. So if you see it, that's accurate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Racing and Gaming will meet at 12 tomorrow.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Revenues Subcommittee will be meeting at 2 p.m. tomorrow or after our bill hearing.
Okay, anything else for the good of the order? Oh, here's one thing, don't leave yet, but we can turn this off. Let's not go live.